So we'll talk about that, and there was a lot of midweek action in the Premier League. The main story out there is that Arsenal's lead now at the top of the Premier League table has been cut from 6 to 4. Are they beginning to feel the pressure already? And are Man City smelling blood? Is it going to be deja vu all over again for the Gunners, where they had looked comfortable all season and then towards the end completely bottle it? Is that going to happen? Are there signs that that could happen? So we will talk about that as well. And then ultimately we will talk about the changes or the additions that the Black Stars or the GFA has made to the Black Stars technical backroom staff. I think Kenry mentioned the names here, broke the news live on the show here. We obviously didn't have enough time to go into details. Today on the show, we should be able to do that. The guys are here on the show. Feature for Philip Stream, Daniel Cranting, and Victor Achu Tabaklo. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How you doing, DK?
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah. Wait. Guys, what's happening? We're on live radio. There are people listening to us. I'm talking to you. Your microphone is on, yeah.
It's on mute.
No, it's not. Talk.
So the mute will know the way.
They work, but talk to me.
Can you hear me?
I can't hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. I'm not saying that the mute doesn't work. I'm saying talk to me.
Okay. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you too? DK, how you doing?
What is
I'm good. God is good, Charlie.
Yeah. It's been quite an eventful week, hasn't it? There's been midweek action in the Premier League. Yesterday, Barcelona got absolutely pummeled by Atletico Madrid. And then, obviously, we saw 2 managers in the Premier League sacked in midweek.
Yeah.
We saw 5 new additions to the Black Stars technical backroom staff. Okay, that happened on Friday technically, but
the breaking news was here.
Yeah, it was like here on the show. We saw Kumasa Santo Kotoko sack their coach.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
that also happened in midweek.
He resigned.
He resigned. Yeah. Well, by mutual consent, I guess.
The guy has resigned.
He has resigned.
They said the guy resigned.
Okay.
And they accepted the resignation.
So,
but you want to change it.
Okay. We've also seen Karim Zuto walk away from his job.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I've rephrased it. It's fine. Okay, it's fine. So, as I said, it's been...
That even sounds better than resign.
Yeah, no. So, as I've said, it's been a very eventful week, to be fair.
Yeah, right.
And all of that has happened at Kotoko, especially in the lead up to a crucial game. They've now put Prince Owusu in charge of a team on an interim basis. And even there are some fans that reportedly unhappy that he's been put in charge and went to the training ground to try or to attempt to stop him from conducting training. That matter was handled and he's been preparing in earnest. I see Kotoko have done really well in terms of their media work, trying to get people in the mood for Sunday's game. I've seen Chairman Wutumi praying for them in Hebrew. I mean, I've seen several other big wigs in Kumasi buying tickets for fans. So there's been a lot of effort that's been put into the publicity. We've seen the skit that's been made involving the Kotoko players, Albert Samoa and what's the name of the big Congolese centre back?
It was Conor Puku and Samba O'Neill.
Yeah, Samba. Yeah.
Samba saying, let them come. Yeah. So it's been very interesting indeed. But actually, I want to begin with you on this Kotoko matter because, I mean, we'll talk about how it's for because Didi Damani was asked about it. He said he doesn't pay attention to what happens. Or didn't if you ask him?
He's pretty much press conferences on week.
He says that coaches are not responsible for results. But that's another matter, right? But let's talk.
It's not
actually,
true.
let's unpack
What is not true?
That thing Didi
actually,
said
let's
no,
unpack
it's
the
not true.
Kotoko issue. A lot has been happening in the build-up. Look, Odin was in charge. Odin walked away less than about 15 months ago. Obviously,
no, Odum, you see, Odum, they sacked him.
No, they sacked him, huh?
Yeah, Odum.
Yes.
Oh,
Odum,
okay.
they sacked him.
So they got rid of Odum.
But that one you can't say it. It's sticking in his throat.
Oh, I don't have an agenda.
You can't say it.
Odum.
You
can't say it.
Walked away from the job.
It's not Odu.
Ogun.
He was sacked.
Ogun.
Uh-huh.
Fair enough. But I'm saying...
Say it.
Ogun was sacked.
Yes.
he said there was lack of mutual respect. And that he wasn't demanding respect, that he commanded respect, and they didn't give him the respect. So he thought that it was time. So I guess when they sacked him, he also didn't have any qualms, I guess. But bottom line, unpack the issues for us. What's being happening? Because Zito, after the FA Cup round of 16 exit, almost felt like he had completely given up. Almost as if to say, what can come, can come. He was like, and his reaction was after. Exactly. The IMC chairman went to address the players and told the players that be busy if they get knocked out of the FA Cup round of season. So it's been a lot of issues. What do you know that led to what has happened, and where is the club heading at this moment as they approach this game on Sunday?
Look, everything that has happened is crazy, but it doesn't surprise anyone. This is Kotoko. This is what they do. In fact, if you look at the composition of the IMC itself, this is the sort of behavior you would expect from them. This is the sort of decisions that you expect they would make, and the outcomes that we're getting. I had no high expectations from them. It was supposed to be a temporary measure that has outlived its usefulness, if it had any usefulness at all. I don't think it had, because when Dasubre left, we essentially were confronted with a situation where, and that has been the case for the best part of 3 years, there is no football executive at Kumasi Asante Kotoko. That for me is unacceptable. That you can have that structure where a club like Kumasi Asante Kotoko, the people who run it are the Asante Hennis Nkontomponi Afare Henny, who has no prior experience of managing a football entity at that level. Then you have Asenso, Fence friend, who was part of the people who failed spectacularly at Legon Cities. And yes, that's what I said. So he came in at the end of last year. He came in at the end of no proper, in terms of body of work that you can look at, and that will inspire some confidence and say he got here based on this work. As we sit here, I don't think anyone can point to what Asenso Boache is known for. Onyina Asenso is, apologies to Asenso Boache, the name sounds, but essentially that was it. And then you have Kwesi Appiah, who I think his name was only brought there to buy legitimacy for the IMC, not because he had any functional, any proper roles or role at Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Look, I think he was just brought there to buy legitimacy. First of all, he's a club legend. People respect him. He is an astute coach. He is a football person who has a lot of clout and respect. And so if his name is attached to something, people are inclined to give them the benefit of the doubt and hope that it works out.
And also for him, it was important because it was on that ticket that got him onto the EXCO.
Onto the EXCO. So it sort of was a marriage of convenience that served its purpose. I think after about 6 months or so, Kwesi Appiah got the sort of value he wanted from it. But for Kotoko, what really is it? Because the very complaints that we had at the time Ogum left, that very often he felt isolated because there was no proper structure backing him, were the same complaints that we have seen. And that is why the mistakes that Ogum made, the mistakes that they made with Ogum in the first year, they repeated it. So in the first year, I think they sacked about 15 to 17 players, replaced them with a similar number. In the second year, they made a similar mistake. And even in the third year, they also made some wholesale changes. But as far as Zito is concerned, I think they got it wrong right from the beginning. There is no way you appoint an assistant coach and then later you appoint a technical director. Then 3 months down the line, you tell us that the technical director is now the head coach. Substantive head coach. It made no sense. It was amateurish. It was not well thought through. The only circumstances where we have seen technical directors become head coaches are in extreme emergencies. Okay. So perhaps, or for example, you've started the season. Midway points in the season, you realize that, Charlie, the manager, for whatever reason, can no longer continue. It could be breakdown in relationship. It could be results that are irretrievably bad, whatever. But once you come to the conclusion that, Charlie, the coach has to go, And in that situation, you cannot find any replacement. The exigencies of that situation will make it reasonable for the technical director to step in until the end of the season, or until you are able to calm things and bring in a substantive head coach. But nobody starts a season with the technical director as the substantive head coach. If you do that, you don't know what you are doing. Because the technical director is supposed to be the boss to the head coach there.
Absolutely.
Now, that was the first red flag. Beyond that, Prince Owusu, who Nana Prinkra and his people brought in as an assistant coach, I think at a point became too powerful.
You mean more of a politician?
Yes. So, till
His
date,
press conference.
till date,
The last after the daddy game, what did he say?
what? Thank you.
Akumia asked him that does the defeat mount pressure on the technical team? He said yes. Then he said, but do you think your job is safe? Then he said, me? Yes.
Meanwhile, he
So
thought-
for him, yeah,
He was
his job is
safe.
safe. He knows.
That's political talk.
Yes.
How do
He
you
wasn't-
know
he
your
wasn't-
job is safe when your boss's job is at risk?
Yes.
Because it wasn't easy to appoint. He
Appointment.
didn't come
But
around.
also
That's exactly the point.
But also
Atu's
because
making.
he knew that whatever happens, he was never going to suffer the consequences. In fact, Hamza Obeng, who was Zito's assistant, when Prince Owusu went to complain to the IMC that Zito listens to Hamza Obeng more than him, and that Zito doesn't necessarily value his contribution, Hamza was briefly demoted to go and handle the youth team. And so if you have paid attention to Kotoko's games for a while, Hamza has not been on the bench. And it was Prince Owusu. So Zito essentially was forced to work with the man who he did not believe in. Now that Zito has left, they have brought back Hamza to come and assist Prince Owusu to do that job. That incident was one of the things that made Zito start thinking twice about his tenure at Kotoko. When Kotoko played Brekum Chelsea, and this is one of the crazy things I never understand about Kotoko. The management told Zito that if he did not win the next 2 games, his job would be on the line. This was, I think, 2 weeks after Kotoko had won 3 games on the bounce. So it was not as if Kotoko had gone through prolonged sloppiness or periods where the team is not winning, performances have been bad for a long time, and then at this point you tell the manager, you know what, if you don't win the next 2, you're fired. But that happened. And Zito also got a sense that some of the players in the team were not pulling their weight, and so he did not understand why out of the blue he would be told that, you know what, you are the problem, so better fix up or we fire you in 2 weeks. When in the last 5 weeks he had won 3, drawn 1, and lost once. And so that did not sit well with him. And then he goes to training, I think after the Gold Stars game or something. One of the players who, again, the other thing is this. You say Zito is technical director, but he is not the man who controls recruitment. There are players who his assistant, Prince Owusu, is able to recommend against Zito's advice, and the club signs those players. Admittedly, some of the players Zito himself insisted on signing came there and they were bombed. The Johnson kid, who they got formerly of Dreams FC and all of that. So that sort of weakens his position. But it is, if you say he is the one responsible for this, let him do his job. Don't undermine him.
The Albert Armour situation was one complete. It just didn't make sense at the time. And it seemed like it was
I'll come to that.
Yeah.
So there is that. Then he has a training ground bust up with one of the players who he did not ask to come, but feels the player is not pulling his weight. That matter gets resolved and all of that. But by the end of January, Zito had started packing his stuff from the club apartments. He had, so the incident, the conversation he had with Akomia and co after the Gold Stars game pitch side, and when he's walking away, he gets confronted by a section of the supporters, and he politely says, if you guys are not happy with the work I'm doing, I'm happy to walk away. But I don't appreciate some of these confrontations. Those were public evidence of a man who at that point was resigned to fate and was happy to walk away. So on Thursday, when Nana Pinkra went to say the stuff he said at that training ground, Zito really was not bothered. He really was not bothered. And if you know Karim Zito, he is not someone who allows people that kind of access around him. The Aduana Stars game at halftime, some of the supporter leaderships and management members walk into the dressing room and start blasting the players. One of them gets into a confrontation with Samba O'Neill. And when I heard it, one of the first things that came into mind was, it is the first sign that Zito is no longer interested in the job. Because there is no way that he allows you into his dressing room. Mm-hmm. But at that point, he simply didn't care anymore. Because he knew that he was gone. So that review meeting on Monday, that everyone thought he was going to be fired. When Zito was walking in there, these things had led him to a point where he knew that whether they say it or not, I'm leaving this meeting not as the Kotoko manager. So he had prepared his resignation in his mind. He listened to them make their case, danced around this. No one really was able to say, because of this, we think we have to part ways. So he offers his resignation. It gets accepted. And I'm told it doesn't look like the club will be asking him to compensate them. They had a gentleman's agreement, shook hands. But I think you need to take a hard look at the IMC again. Okay. I have established the awkward arrangements they put in place. How assistant before technical director, then technical director becomes the head coach, and the assistant who he didn't bring has to work under him. Look, in 3 of the seasons that this IMC have been in charge, they have sabotaged Kotoko's season twice. Wow. The first one was that decision to send the Kotoko team into US for that tournament. Okay. It was an exhibition tournament, but in the middle of the season. You don't do that. By the time they came back, their opponents had built momentum. They lost the league title. Mm-hmm. The second instance of the IMC sabotaging Kotoko's title chase is what they did with Albert Amwa. Mm-hmm. Look, nobody can convince me that there is a world where a sound argument can be made for moving Kotoko's best player on in the middle of the season. Mm-hmm. And I don't care how many times they have done it. If it is wrong, it is wrong. The fact that previous regimes have made that mistake.
Why is it wrong though? When the rumors, and you can fact check me. Why is it wrong though? When the rumors, I mean, you know the stuff, are that the boy was going to earn times maybe 100 of what he was earning at Kotoko, and the Kotoko club also stood a chance of benefiting immensely for that.
With the benefit of hindsight,
is the question no?
Kotoko had issues getting the money, didn't they? There were reports.
If you
that's another matter. But the agreement was Kotoko was going to make an X amount of money. Now, if Kotoko,
so basically, it was a good deal.
I think it was a good deal if Kotoko reinvested that money well. I think it's about replacing the player that you've lost, whether with 2 or with another player who can do a job that the player you're missing is going to do. But as far as Kotoko and Hearts and every team in Ghana is concerned, you have feeder clubs. You have feeder clubs the rest of the world.
Sometimes they really don't have a choice.
Here's why.
Absolutely.
Here's why it was a bad deal. Here's why it was a bad deal. At the rates at which Albert Amwa was performing, I'm absolutely clear in my mind that he was going to end the season with double digits, injuries permitting. He was going to
increase his value.
Yes, that exponentially increased his value. And don't forget, at the time he had started making appearances with some of our national teams.
And there were calls for him.
So he could have been in the conversation for a slot at the Black Stars.
I mean, the calls were there.
They were there.
Can't run away
but
from it.
I mean, I'm just saying that consistently performing would have amplified those voices.
And the chance would have been realistic.
Yes. So if the conversation or if the argument is that the economic case was too good to turn down, I'm saying to you that if this guy had done well or continued on that trajectory, if he goes, he could have gone to the World Cup, and that would fetch Kotoko a minimum of $150,000. Then whatever transfer fee Kotoko got in October, I guarantee you that they could have been in a stronger position to negotiate for a better value. The other thing is this: beyond letting the player go, now you are left with the responsibility of replacing him. The timing of it made it practically impossible for Kotoko to find an able replacement anywhere. Because in October, no one is going to... The window was not even open at that time. No one is going to sell you their player at that point. And so, getting a replacement for Albert Amoah was impossible. Yet, they chose to do that. And even the timing of that announcement, fresh from that humiliation to with that, in the middle of the night, I think... no, it wasn't in the middle of the night. An hour or so after the game, then they announced it. So this is what the IMC...
Was it also true that the player was desperately begging the club to allow him to take the deal?
Then your responsibility becomes improve the player's contract, even if for the short term, because you can almost see the $150,000 dangling in your face. If this boy makes the World Cup
That's
squad,
how much
it would have been worth it.
They were offering the player.
No, I'm saying that if he makes the World Cup squad, the minimum Kotoko gets from FIFA is $150,000. That much we know for the amounts that
I think the World Cup squad thing was a stretch because Ghana is.
No, I'm saying
in that
Sichu,
position.
at the rate at which the guys
and they
perform.
can.
You know the kind of country we come from.
The last time,
You go.
look,
No, he's saying that. No, he's making a point. He's not saying as
That
to
there was
whether
a
he-
possibility
yeah,
of that.
As to
Yes.
whether he merited
Because
it, it's a different
if
conversation.
the slots
different
count,
conversation.
if the
Yes,
slots
very.
count,
No, as to whether
Like
he
that,
merited
no,
it is a
go.
different conversation. But the conversation about him being in there was a realistic one.
the reason why I think it's going to be tough is, as we speak now, they are established Black Star players who are likely to miss out in their attacking position.
Yeah.
So if any of those established players miss out and then Albert Amoah is in, hell is going to break loose in this country. For example, a player like maybe Naki Williams might not be there. Maybe Joseph Pencil might not be there, right? Because like the attack, them plenty. So that is. So I know that if they are slots, they will be considering a Kotoko player, Hartford player as they do.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying for that position maybe.
it,
But yeah,
it
I get the
has
point.
its own asterisk over it. So look, that is the track record of the IMC. They have sabotaged Kotoko's season twice. And as I sit here, the most plausible conclusion I can come to for the way they treated Zito is that they were looking to scapegoat him. The IMC know that by the end of this season, people will naturally review the work that they have done. And for me, the most disappointing part of this is if they have any credit, they owe it to Karim Zito. Every title, every trophy that they have won in the 2 years and 8 or 7 months that they have been in charge has been won by Karim Zito. He cannot be the problem. He cannot be the problem. When he's had very little time to put in place anything with a semblance of a structure or any of the objectives that they set for him. In any event, you have run through 2 managers since your appointment. If you felt sacking Ogun after 2 years was the right decision, then you perhaps made the wrong choice in appointing him in the first place. If after 8 months, Ogun's replacement you think is also the problem, then again you've made another mistake. You get the point I'm making? Because whatever you saw in Zito at least should last a year. At least should last a year. And if this is a move they have made ostensibly to correct the error of Zito's appointments, then the bigger responsibility falls on them that they have dropped the ball twice with both of their appointments.
Wow. Okay. You know, my thoughts on this is very simple. I think Kumasi Asante Kotoko, in terms of, I think they need to start thinking seriously about continuity. Not just in terms of the managerial aspect of things, but also from, and I'm talking managerial like the coaching, technical aspect of things, but also from the managerial point of things in terms of who runs the football club. I think from the very beginning, we've all known that this IMC arrangement was never a good idea. That the people they had put in charge either were not fully committed to it, or had double roles, or were simply people that were there because of other reasons other than sporting. And when you look at where the club has come from, and I'm not even going back 20 years or even 10 years, I'm talking more recently, like 5-6 years ago, from the Naya Amponsa era up until now, there were real proper football people at the top running the club. They were not perfect, but they knew what they were doing. At least they came with a certain pedigree, a certain skill set. They did things that people maybe not necessarily liked, But in the end, they still were people that knew a thing or two about running a football club. At the moment, no disrespect to the people in charge, but if you create an IMC where the head coach is a part of it, and then Sudan's national team coach is a part of it, it just makes no sense. And the efforts to correct that have not exactly been stellar either. And look, I don't have a problem with coach sacking coaches or coaches walking away. And I mean, it's football. It's more than football. The demands are high. When the results aren't great, look, we can all give excuses for why results aren't going well. At the end of the day, people forget the context, and the coach always gets the all of the blame. And it's just one uncontrollable thing that exists in our football fabric. But I think you have to give the coach all the best conditions to try and achieve a certain success, especially if you're a football club that comes with a certain pedigree, with a certain caliber of fans that demand a certain level of results. You have to match that energy with your actions. It cannot just be a one-way street. I think this season, Kotoko can write it off. They're not going to win the league. Obviously, the FA Cup title defense hasn't gone great. And you just wonder what they were trying to salvage from the season by sacking Karim Zito. If Karim Zito was paying for what had been a poor run, one win in the last 6, and getting kicked out of the FA Cup competition, that's one thing. But what is there to fight for the rest of the season? What's the aim? What is the targets that's been given Prince Owusu? What is he trying to do? Laying the foundation for a new coach to come in? Or what exactly is going to happen from now till the end of the season? Beating Kotoko on Sunday could really lift the mood. I'm quite sure about that. But beyond that, what are the long-term plans? I think they need to start to think about that. Guys, Sicho and Danike, I don't know if you have quick thoughts.
Yeah, just a quick one.
Yeah.
And I agree largely with what both of you have said. I mean, the name of the management team even suggests what they were supposed to do. It's an interim management committee.
That has lasted.
How do you interim for 2 seasons? You know, we thought, okay, Kotoko had a problem. The previous management wasn't there, so they needed something to hold the club going while they put a proper management team together. Yeah. And around the time, we all said, okay, it didn't make sense that Prosper Nete Ogum was going to supervise himself because he was part of the interim IMC that was going to supervise.
IMF. They should have named it IMF.
That were going to supervise him. So it didn't make sense to us. Mm-hmm. And at the time as well, I'm not sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but Akwesi Appiah wasn't Sudan's coach, was he?
He was.
He was.
He got the coaching job, I think, about a month or 2.
Okay, I know it was close.
Yeah.
It was close. Okay, I was thinking it was the
really,
other way around.
No.
I was thinking he got the into
No,
the
he didn't
IMC.
get the Sudan job first. He was in the IMC before he got the Sudan job.
So that's what I'm saying. So I'm saying at the time he got the IMC job, he wasn't the Sudanese coach.
True.
So he was.
But when he also got it, he didn't immediately leave.
No, yes. So I'm saying, so at the time they picked him.
But he's still there. He hasn't left.
Yeah, he's still
Thank
there.
you.
He hasn't left. So at the time they picked Akwesi Appiah for the IMC, it made sense. He's a club legend. You know the club in and out. He's a great coach, well respected. He can help. You know, in fact, he could lead and help them put the proper management team together. Mm-hmm. Then a couple of weeks down the line, he gets the Sudanese job, so he has to be busy and everything. He has to form his own team and take them to Sudan. They've done a great job since then. But back to the point. The idea of the IMC in itself wasn't bad if it served the purpose we thought it was going to serve. Mm-hmm. But they have outlived their usefulness. Because the IMC is never supposed to handle a team for a full season. Mm-hmm. No, because they are not even equipped enough. When you look at the proper structure of an administrative team, managing a club of the stature of Kotoko, the number of people we see in the IMC are just not adequate. Yeah. So even if they have the expertise to do it, they need a lot more hands on board to do specific jobs. Mm-hmm. So I think you have to go back to why the IMC was formed and the fact that they have to revisit the purpose for which it was formed, which was hold the club for the interim while we build a comprehensive administrative team to manage that. And up until that point, I think Kotoko will be going through these cycles. Because, look, nobody can convince Zito is not a good coach. He showed those signs half the season last time. He won them the FA Cup. Yes, it didn't work out in Africa. I'm not sure any team in Ghana would do well in Africa. We are not cut out for it. We know reach. But in this season, the signs have been there that the inconsistencies of Kotoko is not only a season's matter. It's a whole thing from the very top. Who are scouting players? How do they bring the players in? Who's going to appoint assistant coach? And it's okay for a coach to come into the club and have, these challenges when at the very top there are cracks. So they need to find that team that will properly handle the administration of the club. Otherwise, the IMC are not equipped to do this job.
Okay, DK.
No, if an IMC has been in charge for 2.5 years, then it means the people who put them there are happy. So I wish them all the best.
All right, quick thoughts on the game itself. Well, for Didi Dramani, before the game, Karim went to Pobiman to talk to him, and he had a lot to say, including saying that the coach, and the results are not. The only thing House of Oak are fighting for this season is the league. That one too, the way media are going, I don't think they have a chance. So it's possible they'll end the season trophyless. Again. But Didi says the results, it's not the responsibility of the coach.
Coaches are not responsible for outcomes of games, but many times they are seen to be being so responsible for outcomes of games. We are very much responsible for the way our teams play and for the way our teams will perform and the way they will behave. But the outcomes sometimes is very difficult to control because you don't control the decision the player makes. You control the chemistry of the team and other aspects, the direction and everything. But the decisions the players make on the pitch on that moment, that is why I said we want to improve in key moments of the game, the decisions we make. That is very key. Coaches don't control that. You can't control when he has to pass the ball, when he has to head the ball, when he has to shoot, when he has to cross. You can't control that one.
All right, so that's Didi Domani. You agree?
Listen, I think it's philosophy. It's a lot of philosophical talk.
Is it?
Yeah, it is a lot of philosophical talk. The reason why coaches earn their money and the top coaches earn their money is because everybody who is employing them knows that they are the difference makers. Otherwise, there's no point in sacking a coach and hiring a coach you think is going to make the results better if the coaches do not influence the results at the end of the day. So I think coaches are there for their job. It is their job to get the best out of their players and translate that into results. So I think the philosophy is that the coaches are not responsible because if you stretch it, the coach is not going to kick the ball into the back of the net. The coach is not going to make that tackle. The coach is not going to play somebody onside. It's not going to do the howler from the goalkeeper. That ball is going to slip through the hand and everything. And we get that.
Very true.
But basically, the basic framework that has to be set for the team to go on and get results is done by the coach.
Even to get to the point where they have to miss the chance.
Yeah, the basic framework is supposed to be because you're going to teach the defenders how they are going to defend in scenarios and situations. You're going to teach your team how you want them to attack, how you want them to build up, how you want them to respond when the opposition is with the ball. And it is all of these things that come together to bring the results at the end of the game. So if coaches were not necessarily responsible for the results of their teams, then no coach is going to earn the amount of money they are earning. Or we wouldn't be having elite coaches because then everybody is the same and the magic is being produced somewhere else, but not from the guys who are thinking from the bench. So I think it's just philosophical. But coaches are hugely responsible for the results that we see on the pitches. Coaches make changes. It alters the way the team plays.
They select the players.
They buy the players. They tell some of them they don't want them. For example, Pep Guardiola walks into Man City and says, Joe Hart, you are England's number one. You've been City's best goalkeeper in the last 2 decades, but you won't be in my post. What happens? City go on then to dominate the Premier League by playing in a style that was foreign to the entire league.
You can't say the manager wasn't responsible for that. Exactly.
Klopp walks into Liverpool and changes completely how they play. Heavy metal football. You can't convince me that he didn't influence the results Liverpool had. Before him, Liverpool were not winning anything. They were winning some caps here and there. But it was he who brought them to the very elite level of performances. So Amorim just got sacked by Man United. Because they were terrible. Michael Carrick comes and in 5 games, he's got 13 points out of a possible 15. You can't convince me that Carrick hasn't had an input in the result that the club has had. So I just think it's philosophical from what he says. But when we watch the game from our sofas or in the stadium, we see coaches earning their money by altering results.
Great stuff. Achu, what do you think is going to happen on Sunday? How's that game going to go? Quick one.
Look, the people managing the two sets of clubs need to do better.
Your friend is now at Kotoko.
Yeah.
All the best to him.
Yeah. Friends from a colleague.
He go give you post.
Oh no.
But I forgive you something.
I forgive you post.
If I retire you from here, you are good job crying.
Look, the people managing our football, the clubs who I think the bigger responsibility goes to, because these are your products. You don't go to sleep and wake up in the week of the Super Clash and start putting out skits or short videos and think that sort of marketing, if it passes as marketing, will realize any proper outcomes. This is not how these things are done. It's the reason, the fact that we are not intentional, we are not thoughtful about promoting the league, the fact that we don't put a lot of resources into it, is the reason the league is an afterthought. Especially for even those who want to religiously follow it. It's because what is the buzz? What's in town that shows that there is a big game there?
You are not in Kumasi, are you?
I don't need to be in Kumasi. There are people who look there. If you plan this thing well and you sell it, someone may want to spend the weekend with their wife or their girlfriend in Kumasi. Book a flight, go to Kumasi.
Especially with tomorrow being
Vals Day.
You end it with Super Clash.
Charlie.
And then if you're a Kotoko fan and the red team wins, Abba. Look, and it could have easily tied him. Kotoko could have easily tied him to the Vals Day.
Yeah.
Now you come and support the Pokemon Warriors, bring your red Vals Day, da 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 da.
If you like the rainbow too.
I think when it comes to Kotoko and it's around Vals Day, you don't need to tell the people to bring the red.
The red will come.
Whether you like or you don't like.
No, but
you
encourage them to bring the babes.
At least put a message out there. Put something. Be thoughtful about it. And
but it's a day after Valentine's Day, so that one too.
No, friends, you are in control of the narrative. Yeah. Look, I'm just not happy with this idea that in the week of every Super Clash, and it's very predictable, they will put two of the most recognizable supporters' faces on TV or on camera. This week, I saw them standing by two taxis. Then the next one, you see players doing banter. That is the classic textbook. This is a variation of the old Kanawu and Kohu go on radio. Basically, the same
They
playbook.
used to do some short videos before.
We need something new.
They used to do some short videos of the Black Star players saying that go and watch the Ghana Premier League. They watch the Ghana Premier
It is not sustainable.
The live pass.
They do.
The live pass.
Where did they watch for?
They lose at the time when they lose.
Oh, but it was being streamed.
No.
There was an app for it.
No, the time they lost the TV rights thing,
Yes.
when there was confusion. Yes. One of them videos like that, they come Blasters assignment where they take the phone, shove them face inside, where they tell you, you where they watch the game for? You where they watch the game for? I watch the Ghana Premier League. Watch the Ghana Master.
Look,
But you do some of this stuff.
Charlie, you can't do that. And then one is the week of the Super Clash. You guilt trip people into by force faking some interest or talking about the products when all year long there is no reminder. There is nothing in their face that reminds them about the league or a reason for them to want to go to the stadium to go and watch Albert Samoa or Benjamin Asare.
And that's the thing.
Asare, they will go and watch.
That's why Asare, the Black Stars, so different vibe. But you see, the thing is, you can't treat the Super Clash in isolation. It's part of the league.
Yeah.
It must mean something to the people who are going to watch it. Unfortunately for us, these two clubs are not doing well this season.
Yeah.
Maybe if Kotoko were in the hunt for the league and Hearts as well had a chance, they are thinking that, okay, this means more.
Yeah.
But like we said, Kotoko won't win the league. Hearts of folk, but the way Mediama are playing some way. But if you are only focusing on the two big teams playing and pulling the numbers, it's not magic. It won't happen. People must have been following the league to develop the interest in wanting to see the two top teams play in the country. Yeah. And I think we've let ourselves down. And now I'm beginning to think, because friends, let's look at this. Mm-hmm. When Star Times were the official broadcasters, they were doing a lot. They were doing programs, spin-off programs. They had the Premier League weekly show.
The territory you are going, I like it.
Yeah, they had the weekly shows and everything. Star Times, I'll say we because I was there at the time. We did promise that we were going to do a highlight show. It was impossible. because of a lot of logistical issues, and even the unwillingness of some clubs to allow you to come and fix that one camera and film if it's not going to be live on TV. So you just have to then pack your bag and say, okay, look, I'll do highlights for the 3 games I'll show and some of the grounds. So it didn't work out. But StarTimes consistently were bringing you the games and doing shows both on radio and TV to get people excited. It didn't really work. It was just after COVID that everybody had missed football and people were tired of staying at home that they started running to the stadium just to take some stress off. Yeah. It wasn't, the league didn't do anything.
Organic.
It wasn't organic. It was people just wanted to be out there. And to be fair, Olympics had Kotoko.
There was a story.
Yeah, Olympics had Kotoko. I think Adriana they were doing well.
Yeah.
So even up until 5 games to go, we were not sure who was going to win the league. So the excitement was there. Fine. The season that followed, it died down. Now we've got another media house that is in charge of the league. And they are very much doing some of the very things StarTimes said they were going to do. So they have weekly shows, they have review shows, they have build-up shows, they are profiling players, they are interviewing coaches, they are broadcasting the game. Yet, it doesn't look like it's going anywhere. So it's not only about putting and the argument was, okay, StarTimes was on pay TV. So people were not seeing the games, right?
It's free to air.
It's free to air. It's free to air on one of the biggest platforms or one of the most watched platforms in the country. Yet it is not the same effect. So we need to really look at and rethink what we do with the Ghana Premier League, because whatever formula we have now is not clocking it.
Interesting. And I think who was it that said it? But I think it's something that we've all constantly championed, that if the 2 clubs are doing well, Ghana Premier League is always better when the 2 clubs are doing well. So there's a lot resting on Hearts of Oak and Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Yes, boss.
Yeah, I've said it before, but now I've changed my mind.
You mean that statement?
Yeah.
So now we don't need them.
Look, if we take care of if we do the right things from the ground up, there's a proper structure. The quality is through and through, not just in the players, in the coaching. Everything is at a certain level.
Yeah.
People will not care if Hearts and Kotoko are not doing well. There's a long time in South Africa that Orlando Pirates and Kaizer Chiefs were not doing well.
That's
Yet the league
true.
was still getting their numbers. Sundowns, growing up, they were relatively a new club. All of a sudden, now they are bossing it. It hasn't done anything to the quality of viewership in South Africa. It hasn't done anything.
If I even go to the Premier League.
Premier League safe.
There was a longest time
where
where Man United went doing too
They
well.
were not doing
They were
well,
not winning.
It doesn't
Chelsea
matter.
were doing well at the time. City took over.
Chelsea is a
And-
new team.
We're talking about the traditional.
The
We're
traditional
talking
team.
about-
Liverpool didn't do well for 30 years.
Liverpool, Man United.
As for Liverpool, Man
Arsenal.
United, they've not done one at the same time before. They are pendulums. But I get your point. So we should create the environment where teams like Chelsea can emerge from Ghana, where it could be an Accra Lions.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, those people love them. They are challenging
Even
City.
La Liga, if you go to the early 2000s,
Valencia.
Valencia were
Deportivo La
there.
Coruña. Yeah.
Look, it didn't matter if Barcelona were not reaching champion. It didn't matter. What's somebody will go and the person will do well, and they will still maintain their viewership and their audience. So it's not necessarily about Hearts and Kotoko. If Hearts and Kotoko will not do well, leave them alone. Let them not do well. But the league should be good enough where somebody is interested in watching the Midiama game because Midiama are on top. Like, it's so bad that if Hearts are playing against, let's say, Ho United, and Midiama are going to face Aduana Stars, and you look at the raw numbers in terms of viewership, people will still watch the Hearts game because it's Hearts. Nobody cares that Midiama on top and Aduana are challenging for the title. No, half the people in this country say
This is on television.
This is on television. They don't even know what's happening in terms
but
of the
at the
title
home
race.
grounds of those two teams, it will be
Fine,
packed.
But you
you
need
need
bigger
to go
numbers than
beyond
that.
that thing. It's not about.
No, I understand.
Look,
I'm just stating another thing. I'm not saying that.
if we are looking at home grounds, aside the big stadiums, aside the national owned stadiums, if you are looking at the club owned ones, they will always pull their crowd. If you are going to look at that as a measure for people interested in, you will always be deceived, because see, no matter how poor a business is, no matter how poor a product is, it will still have its core followers. You know, you some soaps be where the soap, you know, good, but you the thing be basa. Some shop self stop, they sell the thing. But some people will go beyond just to find that soap. By all means, no matter what.
It doesn't mean they'll be
It doesn't mean it to be successful.
And again, for these venues that Danny's talking about, maybe when you go to Doma, when you go to Brekum and everything, on a Sunday, on one fateful Sunday afternoon, what did our brother say? He said, on a bright Sunday afternoon, right? If Hearts of Oak are playing, and you take the numbers they get at Accra Sports Stadium to those venues, they probably will fill it up.
They'll fill it.
That is also true. And that's why people have argued that Kotoko and Hearts will probably
they don't need
smaller
to play.
stadiums.
Yes. And
so that is more compact and
more
it can
compact,
be full all the time.
So if Hearts are playing, I think Hearts and Kotoko still put the numbers we see in these smaller venues.
That is true.
But when you play in this big 40,000, 45,000, they look like...
and then again,
it's just escaping the real problem.
If you extend the conversation a couple years ago, it wasn't like that.
No.
Yeah.
Like those times, Hask and Faisal has the stadium is full. Or like, it's almost full. At least there will be
50%,
60% full. But this time around, Charlie, the thing
and when you say,
you can't guilt 3 people into watching things that are no quality. Right now, there's options. It is true.
Easily accessible.
And we need to look at this thing holistically. It's not just football.
We
have slept on leisure.
If I ask you right now, that what are your top 5 major issues with the Ghana Premier League that need fixing in order to get the fans back, what would make that list? I know it's a very long list, probably inexhaustive, but if I say top 5.
First one is the level of I'll add coaching and the player quality. That's the first one.
So the quality of the coaches and the quality of the players.
And the quality of the players.
Not good enough.
Needs to improve.
Okay.
And the evidence is when they go and they face their mates. When they go and they face their mates, it's never working out. Be it on club to club, inter-club, or local Black Stars B, or Black Galaxies, as they call them.
So that seems seriously good because there's no challenge anymore.
There's no challenge.
So there's no need for Black Galaxies.
At least, yes. At least.
But the top countries, no, they are Black Galaxies are competing for places in the senior national team. And they get ahead of some of
but
the
also
players.
the good thing for also the ones in North Africa is that they get to play in the Arab Cup and all this. So you've raised a very important point.
I mean, Kosafa still played.
They also play.
So
I think Wafu needs its
Wafu didn't sleep, sir.
Yeah, because the Wafu competition, that was what that was where we could use the local players. And that competition has nothing to do with CAF. So we really could still as Wafu. Yeah, exactly. So as Wafu, it's an opportunity, in my opinion. Now that Chan isn't there, for us to revive that competition. Because the last one that we played at Cape Coast in 2017, oh my God, it was so good.
It was great.
But that one too is because somebody came to the whole production and things. Somebody came to do it for you.
Fox, they came to.
Yeah, but that was good, and that wasn't a long time ago. It was like 9 years ago. Nine. Wow.
So the time flying.
It seemed that competition seemed like
Patrick
just
Razak and
Steven
Safo,
striker.
That's
Kobna.
Oh my God! For Kobna, what a player!
Atinga played in that one. Kizito was on the bench a couple of times.
What a player! What a player!
Kizito was starting with Steven Safo.
Max K was the coach. Capello was the coach.
Super guy.
Beat Nigeria in the final.
We did. We did beat Nigeria in the final.
Then was making.
I'm just for me the main thing is not even top 5. The main thing is the coaching and the player quality.
Okay.
If that significantly improves, people will start watching. And then the last thing is the one we focus most on. That whole TV, that thing, the whole TV. Boga. When they put Kwando's Sesmia, you know Kwando's Sesmia, the telenovelas, that they did in 1999, and they put them on TV. Don't you see people are interested? Storylines are on point. The production is on point. It's not up to the standard of today's own, but it's still better than what we have. Charlie, our entire entertainment scene, we are sleeping. We are sleeping. It's a whole problem. It's not just about sports, and sports is part of entertainment. We are sleeping. So
coaching,
player quality. If that improves, the last thing is the TV. You see, imagine you have Ghana Premier League players like what would they do in the American system? Let's use American basketball.
Drafting.
So, for example, when the girls are going for World Cup, Olympics, they do the
Trials.
leagues. What do you call themselves? Let me say League 11. I don't know the name. The League 11 All-Stars versus the Olympic team. So the ones who have made the cut for Team USA versus the best of the rest. Then they play. Very competitive. If you could do Black Star squad against the league's best to test them last game before a major competition, if we had something like that, or the under-20s have been picked, a chunk of them, then you choose the best under-20 from the Ghana Premier League to face them. You had a team like that, and we could see that they can match the coaching levels. They are matching when you send them to these various national teams. They are matching up with their counterparts in Africa. People will get interested. Full stop. That's just how it is. The Fatal Dems, their team, Zito's team in 2021, that won the AFCON. Barnier, Ghana Premier League. There were remnants of some of these guys who, before the Anas expose, they had gone to Africa. It wasn't necessarily the best, but there were high-profile games. Where the Kotoko one that they went to play in the group stages, and was it? I think it was CK's team. CK's team. They did the game in Kumasi where they could have won, and then the team all go cast. But they played some good football. There were remnants of those players in that post-COVID season. So there was quality. There was relative quality. It wasn't the best, but there was relative quality. When we watch those super clashes, when we watch the Hearts Olympics game, you watch the Hearts Ashgo, there was quality. Like you could see that now. It's not, you don't need to force somebody to watch it. You don't need to do 1 week campaign and bring influencers for them to wear Hearts and Kotoko jersey and do skates. They don't care SF. They are just doing skates to attract who. It won't work if there's no quality. You can't guilt trip anybody to go and watch a league that the person will sleep after 5 minutes.
Okay, so for you, the player and coach quality is fundamental. Sicho.
Yeah, for me, the biggest thing for me, but I agree with Danny, the TV thing is last, and I'll tell you why. But the biggest thing for me will be infrastructure. Because, in my opinion, it doesn't even matter how good a player is. But it doesn't even matter how good the coaching is. If the infrastructure is not good, you can't even execute some of the modern know-hows of the game.
Okay,
it's impossible. Like the pitches are bouncy and everything. You want to get the ball across the turf. And some of the reasons why it's so difficult when the Ghana Premier League is not because the players don't have the quality. They have no choice but to balloon the ball. Because when I pass the ball to Danike and he's under pressure, he can't take the first touch because he's not sure
where to land. So he will quickly have to kick it to another player or just clear the lines. And I think if we don't develop, there's no, if you like, shortcut to it. The reason why when Qatar wanted to do massive sports investment, they started with infrastructure, was because it forms the base of it. So while you're improving infrastructure, you're developing the human resource that he speaks about. So they meet, and it's a great measure. When Morocco wanted to straight away get into the thick of it, they did massive overhaul of infrastructure. Morocco have always had decent talents in their league. People love it and everything. But to take it to the next level, they knew the infrastructure was going to be massive. Saudi are doing the same. Even the English Premier League, for them to be able to compete with the then Serie A, because let's not forget, Italy had hosted the World Cup. After the World Cup, the infrastructure were brand new. Pitches were great. It turned out to be outdated 30 years down the line. But at the time, it was the ish. And so the league benefited immensely from that. And the Premier League was suffering because they used to say they played on potato pitches. And so the Premier League was known for boom, boom football. But they made a conscious effort.
And if you see the old videos from the Premier League in the early days,
2003,
it was bad. Like, really bad. Yeah. It was bad.
Did you drop Frank Lampard Stamford Bridge?
It was bad.
It was not great.
It was bad. But they had to change these things. And when I speak about infrastructure, it's not only about where the senior teams are going to play. It's even where the young ones are going to train and how they are going to train, because you've got enough to get them to be able to train and develop their skill set, right? So that has to improve. Whether it's going to be by government or by the individual clubs, that for me forms the bedrock of what a major shift in football is going to be. Because the reason I think the TV thing is last, PP, is in communities, in countries where fan culture thrives, a lot of fans don't even watch a lot of games on TV.
On TV.
And we all love the Premier League. So in the Premier League, we know the blackout. 3 o'clock where there are many games being played.
Including the host country.
People in England are not watching. The rest of the world are watching. So it's either you go to the stadium or you find yourself in some pub that has some licenses to show it.
Yeah.
Or you are waiting to see highlights.
Unless
There's
VPN.
no
Or,
part-
yes.
yeah.
Unless VPN.
And they can't do it publicly.
You
because
can't do it publicly, we're going to catch you. Or you have to wait for the evening and look at this and watch BBC's, they are partners, I can mention them. BBC's match of the day, which is a comprehensive highlight show. Because you would have the reason why match of the day is big is because people don't see the games we see.
Yeah.
The only time they can see these things are on match of the day. So they don't see the 90 minutes we see. So how then are they so enthused about their league? So fan culture is not necessarily built on the availability of the game. It is built on system that forces or convinces the fans to move from home and go and see the game. And if you're going to see
It's a narrative. It's storytelling.
the minute, if you're going to see a game, it takes your entire day. It's not like you are home and you wake up in the morning, you're able to see every Premier League game from 11:30 to maybe now these days.
It's
8
not
o'clock.
possible.
Because if you're going to see a game that kicks off at 3 o'clock UK time, you're probably going to catch your train, say, in the morning by 10, which means you're ready by 9 to leave home. So you catch your train, you get to the venue, depending upon how far it is. You get to your venue, the game is at 3 o'clock. Maybe you got a couple of drinks here and there with your friends. You go to the stadium like 2 hours before the game at 1. The game starts. The game finishes at 5. It's not at 3, it finishes at 5. So look, you left home in the morning. The game kicks off at 3. You end at 5. Quickly you leave, want to catch your train, which will maybe you catch it by maybe 6:30 there about, and you're going back to where you're going. It's a full day.
It's a full day.
So when I'm watching the 11 o'clock game, you're on road to your 3 o'clock game. When I'm watching other 3 o'clock games, you are only focused on the one you are watching in the stadium.
Yeah.
When I'm watching the 5:30 game, you are now chasing your train to get back. So
When you get home, that's why you watch match of
the day because you'd have missed what Man City did or whatever. So the fan culture and the attendance in stadiums, it's not about putting the games on TV alone. There are a lot of dynamics to it. But for me, you said 5, but because of time, the first thing, massive infrastructure overhaul.
I agree. In
Alongside
fact,
what Danny,
that was for me number one.
alongside what Danny says because you can do both.
It's also important. Yeah, I
While
agree.
you build infrastructure, you
I
develop,
agree.
then they meet.
Yeah.
Because you
I'll give
mentioned
you
the
just
TV
two.
thing. If the infrastructure is not good, you put that thing on TV. And
It
yeah,
won't-
it
fair,
won't be nice.
MPK.
it won't be nice.
MPK.
And it's
It
one
will
of our
tune off.
problems. The bouncy pitches. Is it a bouncy castle?
Look.
Some of the astroturfs, you for wear sunglasses before you go field watch.
Yeah. Oh, and you know, see the
No,
one.
you
cry-
can't
wear
see-
sunglasses.
Yes, I agree.
One
No,
cry
we've
loud.
seen it on television. On top of that, in fact, look at where we live as a country. Look, Morocco. Until this AFCON, it hadn't rained there for nearly 8 years. And yet everywhere,
Nearly what?
8 years. Morocco.
Oh yeah. It was only
Before,
this December. Yeah.
yes.
8 years.
Yes.
No rain.
You know what
Ah,
I mean?
but Dubai, you can go 16 years
Yeah,
with
they
no
will
rain.
rain.
It happens. But not just pitches. Look at the streets. Even the lawns are well manicured, green and lush. And yet we live here
Irrigation is not a problem.
where we live here where it rains at least 8 months out of the 12 months in a year. And we've had stadium authorities blame Hamatan for brown pitches.
Hammer.
Hamatan. Well, we've had all kinds of reasons why our pitches are not great, to the point where the GFA had to institute a whole borehole policy down to fall for water inside. I have not seen the boreholes.
But friends,
No, that one.
how do you maintain pitches with borehole? Because the science of grassing has nothing
No,
to
it's
do with
water.
water. No, it's not. Water alone doesn't.
Not alone, but water is fundamental. They want to start with water, but the problem is that the water too, we have not seen the water.
No, the water, he did it. The boreholes no day here. We did it.
Bros, the last time we did a show, I was with Henry on PMS, but do you not remember that when I tackled him over the
yeah, I
borehole?
remember.
The boreholes are not there.
That's some of the boreholes we see.
But some of them they went to, okay, they dug deep and everything, but they didn't hit the water.
Yeah, there were issues with the
for change
boreholes.
direction.
You understand? So I'm saying that that's not even to necessarily blame the FA. I was saying that the problem was so desperate that we had to resort to trying to
Masa, if I do borehole for my house, if we dig where we no get water, we dey change direction. By all means, you go get some. If you know hit water, then you
some
stop.
places the table be too. Like some places it be tough. Like who gets.
Yeah.
You know, say tamale like this, it be very tough. Say you go get. It be very tough. Even
But
here,
so if you hit, then you stop.
My village,
if you know hit, get yield. And sometimes you fit hit, but the yield.
you just have to go deeper.
And it's the deeper you
No,
go,
the
the more
deeper,
expensive.
Right now, the average cost of a
So
borehole-
why you go talk say you dey go do borehole for there?
But you see, we spend $200,000 on the borehole. The average cost of one borehole in Ghana is like 18,000 now. But it was
18,000 Ghana cedis.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
But
But
their
we spend
the
200,000.
technology they are using is different.
That's why for hits the water, no. Masa. $200,000 technology.
Because right now, because of Ghana water's problems, everybody's doing borehole.
Borehole,
So
yeah.
No be
right
Ghana
now,
water in problems. It be Galamsey.
not only Galamsey.
Yeah, but
please.
Galamsey be me.
Ghana water together my problem.
Galamsey be the
In
main
areas
problem.
where Galamsey no, they still water no.
But we dey take water off for the Galamsey side.
No, the Galamsey site water.
So then for
you know
ration
they
am.
serve a certain area. And
Yes.
yet that area that has its own water source. Not
So right now they
affected by
take from
Galamsey.
other
It's not
squad
getting water.
the ration. So right now they for take for other squad the ration. That's why we have problems. It be Galamsey.
Actually, you give me your two reasons. You said you were going to give only two.
For me, it's the people who run the clubs.
Okay.
The first one is the person that can find the money and the ideas to keep the business running. In the last year of WAFA in the Premier League, in fact, I went there with a couple of journalists to see Prosper Ogum around that time. And what we were told by the operations manager then was that annually they were spending close to 2 million euros to keep the academy running. So from hostel, feeding, electricity, water.
A year.
Yeah. Or per season, if you like. So football is freaking expensive. We have sort of accepted the fact that these clubs, the people who run them, will never be able to find the money, and that it is okay for them not to honor contracts, not to pay players well, not to put the players in comfortable buses or comfortable hotels when they travel. There's a culture where when the team is playing away, they leave at dawn, get to the venue
Yeah, Charlie.
3 hours or so before the game, and after the game they are on a night bus traveling on our terrible routes.
And we've had accidents and armed robbery incidents as a result of that.
But they continue because
And their buses are not coaches, so they are normal buses. They can't
Real-
stretch their legs.
No.
Nothing. So they'll finish playing tired.
That's why
and their
I said
buses
we can't even give them
way.
comfortable buses. But it is because we have people, we have bad fits in the jobs. Yeah. Then you need people who will recruit and recruit well. I challenge anybody here. You see the people who are able to find the Mohamed Kuduses, the Jordan Ayus, the Thomas Partys. How is it that those people work at the bottom of the food chain? But the so-called big clubs, when they go onto the market, they sign Hamza Issa, they sign Johnson,
Actually, do you think?
and they sign some of
Do you
these
think if Hamza
guys.
Issa had been scouted at the very base, as you say, and didn't have his development here through our system with our club system, do you think it probably would have been a Kudus Epate or any of these players who were born here, scouted early, and didn't have
In
to
his
develop
case, no, because I think the talent level is just so low.
Do you know?
But I'm saying that, friends,
Actually,
it is curious that the best people in terms of talent identification, the people who can spot a talent and then they often get it right, they work at the bottom of the food chain. Look, all of these guys who run Accra, Hartsville, and Kumasi, Asante Kotoko, me, I can tell you that if you take them to WAFA, they will make the grade. If you take them to Cheetah FC, the second divisions and the third divisions, they will make the grade. Because over there is no room for politics and any of the things that provide comfortable seats for these people who are not good at their jobs. You are judged based on how often you can find the talents that the market in Scandinavia, the market in India or somewhere else can pay for. Here, no one even assesses the talent level of that player you're asking the chief executive to spend money on. And that is why the best players that we see in our under 17, the best players in our under 20, and the guys who eventually end up in the Premier Leagues and the La Ligas and the French leagues and wherever, they don't go through the Ghana Premier League because it is the worst of our talents that end up in the Ghana Premier League. Also because the people who are recruiting for the clubs in the Ghana Premier League are possibly the worst scouts and talent recruiters that you have. Until you get to a point where, because I don't understand how 3 scouts will go and watch the same game. One of them will see Kudus and tell you that this guy, take him to Right to Dream, and he will be a hit. Another will see Kudus, he will not even look at him. And then he'll go and look at that player who probably will not make the grade in the least strict regime at Right to Dream or a Cheetah FC. So until you get to the point where the people running these clubs in the Ghana Premier League and the Division 1 League
Take their
clubs
scouting
seriously and are actually getting the guys who, when they tell you this kid is good, you know it is true because 18 months down the line, that kid is ending up at Nottingham.
This is a very serious matter you've raised. What is the scouting structure of our football
clubs?
In
because
the Ghana
look,
Premier League?
no matter the level of coaching, if you give Pep Guardiola Hamza Issa to work with, he will not turn him into an Aguero.
And you know the interesting thing, even now a lot of people are training as scouts, a lot of them training as agents.
Yeah.
Very few of them, if any, are pitching their players to any teams in the Ghana Premier League.
No, they won't.
They are not interested.
No, they won't.
All of them want to send players abroad. Look,
and it's not just an issue of money.
No. It's not development. They don't trust that the players will get to the top if they go to these clubs. So that's one of the issues. Apart from Benjamin Asare, whose story is really an outlier kind of story, if you go through a recent Black Stars lineup, there is no single player that has come to the Ghana Premier League system. That is how serious the situation is. I'm not talking about a Ghana Premier League player, but I'm talking about a player that has gone through the Ghana Premier League system, like played for a Ghana Premier League club before getting maybe abroad and getting to the top. So it's clear that the talents coming to the Ghana Premier League aren't reaching the top. Not even the ones at this level, but anyone that's gone through that system, maybe just play one season, half a season, or even played for the youth team of a Ghana Premier League club.
Yeah,
not one of them has made it to the top. You understand me? Because look at our last World Cup qualifying game against Comoros. Crucial game. So top players were invited. Top players played that game. Apart from Benjamin Asare, who, again, as I indicated, is an outlier. Seidu, a right back. No Ghana Premier League experience. And yet, he came straight from here. And it's not a player born abroad. I'm talking about even those who were born
in
here.
Alidu's case, the scout here missed him. He ended up in Cote d'Ivoire. I think the GMJ, yeah? The GMJ Academy. Yes. That's where he ended up. And that is where he had his breakthrough before he went to, I think, Clermont-Foot. And then in France.
Yeah. And listen, Jiku, he was born abroad, so obviously he's not part. Another one that started, Salisu.
Yeah. Didn't go through the system.
Nope. No Ghana Premier League
Almost
team.
didn't play for us. If he was Eyi Kakra, like, he didn't go play for him.
If he was what? E?
Small.
Yeah. And another one, born and raised here. He, at least, Ajeti, Jonas, he had some Brekum Chelsea, but they took him there so they could send him abroad.
Yeah.
Didn't really, he didn't develop through that place. No. We know his story. Partey, no Ghana Premier League experience.
So,
Zibo, his brother, Sibo, his brother was an accomplished Ghana Premier League player with Liberty Professionals. Yeah. He, on the other hand, zilch, no Ghana Premier League team, never on the books of a Ghana Premier League team. And we don't know how he ended up in Spain and then somehow he's now back into the... But he came from here, born and raised here with his brother who was playing for... And the brother who played for Liberty at a decent level never found his way to the Black Stars. And he...
And at that time... under 17, under 20.
Yes. And he, who wasn't good enough, wasn't deemed good enough for any Ghana Premier League team, was the one that ended up going abroad and becoming a a Black Stars player. Then you have Kudus. I don't want to repeat myself. We know his story. Jordan is also a very different case. But then you look at another player like Ebenezer Annan. Another one of those.
Look, of the entire squad, don't worry yourself. The names you will find are Gideon Mensah and Ashimeru Majid Asan.
Finito.
The Wafa boys, no. Asan. And even them, they are the outliers. The Wafa boys. No.
That's great. So the scouting is a big problem. So the Ghana Premier League teams need to rethink their approach. Anyway, this is Gameplay. I hope you're enjoying the conversation. The number to share your thoughts on, if you're interested. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day. So if you're interested in any of the things that we're talking about, you want to contribute to the conversation. The number is 055-1111-997, 055-1111-997. Game Plan is brought to you by Betway, Getway More. Western Union send and receive money around the world. And I'll tell you more about Betway Influencer. It's time to get rewarded as the next big sports betting influencer with Betway. Place bets and share your codes with friends and fans and followers. If they place the best using your code, you'll earn 4% of their wager. It doesn't matter whether it's a win or a loss. If they bet with your code, you earn 4% cash of their wager amount. This means the more people bet with your code, the more you will earn. Start betting, sharing, and winning with Bet Influencer, exclusive to Betway. Terms and conditions, of course, always apply. And Valentine's is here, so go treat your loved one at Jenem Salon and Spa. It's an award-winning and trusted brand situated in a serene and exquisitely designed environment. It's a one-stop shop for complete grooming and wellness. This Valentine, Jenem Salon and Spa has curated exciting spa experiences with wine and chocolate for you and your loved ones. Our services include hair and barbering salons, spa, pedicure, manicure, acrylic nails, therapeutic massages, skin analysis, and facial rejuvenation. Waxing, scrub, sauna, jacuzzi, Jenem gift cards, and curated spa package experiences for birthdays, bridal showers, and Valentine. They are located at Joel near Bolt Office. Find them on Google Maps. They are open Tuesday through to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Sundays, 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. Call them today. Book a service for your loved one for tomorrow. Okay? 0549 733 405. 0549 733 405. You can find them on Instagram at Jane M Salon Spa. Jane, as in Jane Nana. M for Men's Salon. SALON Spa, SPA, on all social media handle. They also have a website, jenemsalonspa.com. Jenem Salon and Spa for your ultimate radiance, and for your ultimate radiance, of course, and for your ultimate relaxation. Anyway, let me tell you a bit more about this one as well. Marriage is a divine institution established by God and becomes truly beautiful when couples intentionally love, give, and support one another. You're warmly invited to the J&G Corporate Retreat for Couples and Singles, a life-changing experience focused on strengthening relationships, families, and personal growth. The retreat will address essential topics such as living in harmony through understanding, temperament, and submission to the Holy Spirit, conflict resolution, financial management, raising children, and writing will. It's scheduled for 13th and 14th February. That's today. The retreat will be held at the J&G Corporate Retreat Center, the Wenya, near Central University. Renowned speakers include Dr. Gideon Amenyado, Mr. Rudolph Marte, and other respected counselors who will also minister. The rate is 2,500 Ghana cedis per couple. Side attractions include massage sessions, workout activities, worship, and prayer. An early bird discount of 15% for the first 10 people exists. So sign up today. For inquiries, contact 0244 3333 35 0244 333335. And then also to remind you that the World Cup conversation is still on. We're going to the FIFA World Cup. Latina Travel is here to tell us a bit more about how we can get to the World Cup. We promised you last week, so we'll get to Latina shortly. But guys, before we get to Latina, obviously we've had quite a number of conversations on the new additions on the Black Stars. So I don't want us to get a bit repetitive, but Ticho, good or bad, like briefly, when you saw that? I mean, Henry mentioned the names here. You've had time to reflect.
Yeah, I think the general idea of it is good. You go into the World Cup, it's the biggest stage of football, so you have to put your best foot forward.
Yeah,
and if putting your best foot forward means you need more hands to help the coach, which I think you do, then it is good that they've brought these guys on board. That's just to say briefly, they are fully supported. I'm just against the fact that we only do this when we are going into major competitions like the World Cup. I think it has to be a standard. I think in 2026 we should be finding the money to pay a pool of coaches to be able to handle our national team. Otherwise, we are spending the money in a way that is not beneficial to its full capacity, because if these same coaches were there last year, 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, and we're working with, because the core of the team is not going to change. So imagine if these people were working together for 2 years on the team, getting it ready for the World Cup. I guarantee you would have made the AFCON. I guarantee you, if they were good enough, we'll go to the AFCON and show our level there. And if these people were working on the team for 2 years, 3 years, the team would have been in a better place going into the World Cup. So it wouldn't have been just with the World Cup being a project that you bring these hands on board. Yeah. They go to the World Cup and see what happens and they go away. No. They must learn together. They must go to tournaments, fail, be successful, make their mistakes, correct them, and then be a technical team that works in the technical directors of the FA that will be managing the national team, will be coaching the national team. So I like the idea. But going forward, let's advance the conversation from it being 2 months, 4 months, 3 months to the World Cup that you bring these bodies on. Yeah. They should be here all year round.
That should be the regular composition.
Standard.
Yeah.
Standard. 3 out qualifiers, AFCON, World Cup qualifiers.
Because that's what it takes.
That is what it is. Team. It is what it is. Like, and when you're going to tournaments, there can be always that extra hand you bring on board. Yeah. But the basic standard should be what they are bringing on board for the World Cup. So after the World Cup, I hope the GFA takes this one on and maybe begin to talk about how to finance it. Yeah. Because we desperately need it. Because the next one, okay, now, to buttress the point, we're going to the World Cup 2026. The next AFCON is 2027. Yeah. So what? After 2026, this team is going to be disbanded. And then, what? 2 months, 3 months to the AFCON. We're going to put,
makes no sense.
So if they go to the World Cup, they are with the boys. Yeah. They make their mistakes, they correct it, they learn, and then the next AFCON they are there. They'll be better. Then the AFCON after that is 2026, 2028. Yeah. So we need to relook at this.
If you look at the numbers of Otuado's backroom staff, how many? 18? Is it that many? 18.
The total number
18. I was looking at the backroom staff of Thomas Tuchel as well at England, about 20.
Standard.
Yeah. I mean, that's what and those people are all on a permanent basis.
No, all year round.
It's not for the World Cup. We have made a lot of temporary additions just for the World Cup. So I think I understand the point you're making. Because if on a daily basis, Thomas Tuchel is operating with, and you see, that is an ideal example to give because that's the team we're going to play at the World Cup. Yeah. So the assumption is that you're supposed to be at the same level. Yeah. In fact, if we want to beat them, we need to be a level above, operate at a level above them. We can't always be wanting to be punching above our weight. I think that's always our case because it's almost as if every time we win at a game at the World Cup, we're not supposed to win. Like we
overtry.
We overtry, like we punch. It shouldn't be. I think we have to get to a point where, because we have the talent, where we give the talent the best necessary tools to try and succeed. So I think I agree with you on that point. Anybody else with a divergent view or something to add on that? Because I really want us to talk about Arsenal before we go to...
okay, let's talk about
Arsenal.
Yesterday, Arsenal 1-1 draw with Brentford. And now, all of a sudden, there is a lot of talk about deja vu. And not many people were also very impressed with, not necessarily not impressed, but after Declan Rice's interview about the fact that if you're not going to win the game, then you better not lose. Then people pulled up that Rodri interview at the end of the 24 season saying, or the 25 season, last season, saying that that the difference between Man City and Arsenal is mentality. And I found that to be a bit too cheap. But still, though, you cannot shake off the feeling that one team seems to be slightly nervous, and that's Arsenal, and the other one seems to be playing with a certain level of freedom, and all of a sudden it seems like there is some happiness in the Man City camp. And if a neutral were to put his money on either of those teams going on, I don't know, an 8-game winning streak, they probably would say Man City. Is that a fair assessment? What's going on with Arsenal?
I think you are feeling nervous for Arsenal. I don't think
it's not just me.
I don't think Arsenal are feeling nervous. Look,
I've spoken to Arsenal fans.
Anybody,
they have PTSD. If you have been an Arsenal fan, with all the things that have happened, how can you not be nervous?
You've asked the question. Let me answer. You're talking about.
You made an allegation.
I say you are feeling nervous for them. Are you not feeling nervous?
I'm not feeling nervous.
But you just said it.
Arsenal fans.
You said you can't help but feel nervous.
I said Arsenal fans can't help.
That was after I gave the allegation. Look, anybody who follows the Premier League knows
Oscar,
that.
what he's very nervous.
We'll call you right now.
Very nervous.
A lot of them are nervous.
Ralph, let me tell you that nervous. Ralph and
They are nervous, Papa.
It's very nervous.
Very nervous.
Reverend Mauli Benson.
Very nervous.
Cedar Mountain. Very nervous.
Yes, very
in
nervous.
Fact, incredibly nervous. Extremely nervous.
Fred Smith, when he saw me this morning, he said, it's like...
Gary Smith.
He said...
Very nervous.
He said the branch is about to snap again. The elephant hanging on the branch, you know. The branch is
I'm doing
snapping.
a roll call like Obet's the names of the Arsenal fans. They are very nervous.
But you can continue. We don't have a lot of time.
Look, anybody who follows the Premier League knows that a game away at Brentford is a tough one.
Yeah.
On a Thursday night, after what has happened, is a tough one. Look, we've reached a point in the season where you need to be tactful when you are going into certain games. Arsenal, Merino is out for months. Boba, Havertz is out again with another muscle injury. They let Wanyeri go on loan. They can't recall him. Games are coming thick and fast, and the importance of those games are such that you can't be rotating constantly. So if you go into a battle and you have an advantage, what is the sense in risking it if you can also end up losing? Look at how Brentford played yesterday. That's probably the most open I've seen Arsenal all season. So if they get to a point in the game and they realize that they can't win this one, what is wrong with playing for a draw? It is the smartest thing to do.
And people are taking issues with what Rice said.
The thing is, it's because it's Arsenal. If Mourinho said this thing, people will salute him. If Pep said this thing, people will salute. And we've heard Mourinho. It's not Mourinho who at the beginning of the season, if you remember, the all or nothing, said that at the beginning of the season, he looks at all 38 fixtures. This one is winnable, this one is winnable, this one, it will be tough, draw. He predicts the results that he will possibly go and play for. And then, if it happens that way, he will actually go and play for those results. If Mourinho is telling you that there are some games he goes for draw, now will tell me that Mourinho has a weak mentality.
So in that case, my question to you, what would Arsenal and Mikel Arteta have written against that Brentford fixture?
It's a tough game.
Draw?
It's a very tough game. It's a very tough game. They had a 6-point lead before. In fact, it was a 3-point lead because Man City had won. Now it's 4 points. Look, sometimes the things you do is funny. Match week 15, the same thing. Hey, the elephant is coming to fall. The elephant is coming to fall. City will win for 3 consecutive games with 15, 16, 17. City will win, come 2 points clear. Arsenal will have to win and come back 1 point clear. Sound for 3 weeks. Then it's straight to 7 points. When it's straight to 7 points, nobody was talking about how poor City had been. They were still talking about how Arsenal could bottle it because you can't wait for them to bottle it. You are praying and hoping that the thing will happen.
No,
look,
PTSD.
the drama.
The evidence is there.
Let me tell you something.
It is their history.
Let me tell you something.
They've done it so many times.
It's not true.
What do you mean
it's not true?
Why?
It's not true.
When
It's a very false. It's a very no. That's not what they're talking about. You are saying they're being on top and crumbling. They've done that so many times. What are you talking about?
I'm saying that Arsenal have competed for the title at least the last 3 seasons. They've not won one.
Last season they didn't compete for the title.
What were they doing?
Last season was a top 4 battle. It wasn't a title. This thing. It wasn't a title.
The
point is, you know what? Let's stop talking. Say what you want to say. Let's do the interview.
I will say.
So can I talk?
Finish.
Thank you very much. Don't interrupt me. I'm talking. You are saying your thing. If you want to say your thing, say your thing. I'm saying the drama that you are looking for, it won't happen. That drama that you are looking for, it won't happen.
Arsenal won't collapse.
What is collapse? The thing you said will collapse. It is normal to drop points throughout the season. When you drop points, it doesn't mean that you have collapsed mentally. It doesn't mean every drop of points is not a mental collapse. It doesn't mean it's over. What are you talking about? We've seen this team chased down by Man City and Aston Villa this very season, and then in a couple of weeks they stretched the gap again and showed incredible mental willpower. They went at home against Aston Villa, having to win to go 2 points clear of the title. They went and they beat their direct title out 4-1. Didn't they beat them? They are going to face Man City. Man City are going to go and face Chelsea. In fact, Man City, we don't even need to learn to face the big teams. They will drop points against the small teams. That's how they are this season, last season. That's how they are.
So if dropping points is a sign of weak mentality, then Man City have a weak mentality too, because they've been dropping points.
And they've been dropping points. Everybody has a weak mentality.
Okay.
I don't agree.
When Arsenal drops one game, then hey.
I don't agree with
60
Danny.
seconds.
Yes, I don't agree with Danny.
Don't mind him.
Mourinho is injured. Look, we've all praised Mikel Arteta's assembling of a team because we said that it wouldn't matter who gets injured. He's got perfect replacement for them.
I'm not. No. I'm not. No. I think no. I'm not blaming Arsenal's current form on injuries. I'm saying that the squad is getting thin, so now they need to be tactful about how they. If somebody bails out at the end of the season and the person's replacement is injured for months, who's not going to worry them?
He's saying that we praise them for them,
Yes,
so we can't go around and come down and say
have a very big
Yes,
squad.
yes.
It's not getting
So if everybody gets injured, you still can't blame.
What are you talking about? Everybody's injured.
What are you talking about?
The squad is not getting
The whole of January, they didn't have a single strike.
our time is at switch or you.
The squad is not getting thin.
Yes.
The reason why we've praised Arsenal's team is because of the depth they have. Mourinho's injury shouldn't take so much from Arsenal. In fact, they've been without Saka. They've been on top. They've been without Odegaard. They've been on top. You can't come and tell me Mourinho and Havertz, who hasn't played all season, has a setback, so it's a problem. There is no problem with the squad. Arsenal have got a very good squad. Look, Arsenal have shown signs of Popo in small because no, listen. The reason I say this is,
Master, say it.
When
Go
Arsenal,
on, you have the floor.
when Arsenal this season, City haven't been great.
Yeah.
And Arsenal have got the capacity to be able to stretch the season further than they've done. But when they've had these moments at times, they've not been able to get over the line. I agree, you won't win every game. But the manner in which they draw or drop points in some of these games have been questionable. It's not as if they've dominated and they've missed chances. And no. Arsenal almost lost yesterday. They almost
But they
lost.
didn't.
They didn't.
If it was City, you say it's a good thing.
No, I won't say it's a good
Yes,
thing.
because there are games that
Why
City
would
go
it?
into.
You don't put words in his mouth.
I've not seen it before.
Don't put words
I've not
in
seen
his
it before.
mouth.
Are you not the one who has gone on TV
Hey.
to tell us that championship team, a mark of a championship team, you go into a game that you are not even supposed to win, you are not supposed to draw, but you end up with something. Today, Arsenal have ended up with a draw.
I
You
didn't
say it's a
that.
problem.
I didn't say that.
I can't sit in a room with this guy.
I didn't say that.
Who will deny things
I
like
didn't
that.
say that. I said that.
Sit down.
No, look. But I think
Please,
ultimately,
I
finally,
think,
ultimately,
Yeah.
so that my
Madam
City
Lutina, yes.
ultimately, I think between City and Arsenal, and this is the third time I'm saying it this season, the team that is likely to drop further points along the way, or more points along the way, is Semenyo's City. It wouldn't be because Arsenal are consistent and great, but between the two, I think Arsenal are a bit more
Consistent.
resolute, right? A bit more resolute. Because yesterday's game should have lost, but they managed to squeeze a draw out of it. Another team, maybe City, Villa, would have lost that game. So the Arsenal fans, you are shaking, but calmer. But far.
We will be here. Madam Latina is here. Good afternoon to you. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Last week we promised you some 10 minutes. You have exactly that to go through a lot of the questions. Listen, you're taking us to the World Cup. Since last week and now, I'm sure you've had more people come to Latina Travel and Tour. What's the update you can give us as far as our road to USA, Canada, and Mexico is concerned?
Yeah, thank you so much, Fentio. And yes, we are getting more people coming through.
Yeah.
They prefer to walk into the office rather. And those who are making calls, and we have also applied. We have also submitted. We have gotten dates. Currently, you know how Ghanaians are.
Of course.
The dates for the US appointment is open. Even if you want to go tomorrow and and go for your interview, the dates are open. No, they won't come on. It's open. March is open. April is open.
Wow.
They wait. You know us. May they'll come. Hey, nam pese me call.
Last minute.
Yeah. So when people come, I say, please, when you call that you're coming, come with your passport and let's fill your forms and let's start
Amazing.
the process. And we are picking up the dates. Some people are going next week. I mean, as soon as possible.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, so in that case, let's give out some more information on the Latina Travel and Tour package to the USA for the Ghana group, the USA Canada for the Ghana group matches. So, first question to you is this: what are the different packages you have for anyone that wants to go and watch the World Cup?
Okay. Now, thank you. So we have 3 basic packages.
Okay.
We know people have budgets. Some can't stay for the entire experience, but they just want a bite of the cake. So just one match. So if you wanted to just do one match, maybe even your work doesn't permit you to be away for 2 weeks or 21 days, you might just want to do 5 days, either Canada or the US. So our package is $3,990, and it comes with one match ticket to watch any of the games, flight, a return flight ticket, economy class, accommodation for 5 nights, your match ticket, I've already mentioned that, transfers, travel insurance. Someone asked me, do you need travel insurance? I say yes. Hey, you don't think you need travel insurance? In these days that we don't have, we cannot be assured of medical whatever. So if you have that, the insurance covers so much. Covers you in the event that you are sick or anything. And then we have the second package, which allows you to watch 2 matches. Of course, we are still looking at people's budget. And then that one will give you at least 9 days to watch that. And then those who want to watch all 3 matches, that gives you about 15 days to watch all that. So that's what we have. But that said, you know, this World Cup, I told you this is our 3rd World Cup participation, where we have been able to put logistics together for Ghanaian fans. This time, we noticed that the US also presents a huge business opportunity to the business community in Ghana. And for instance, our Ghana-England match, it's estimated, I don't know if you have done the research on that we would have a massive gathering.
Of course. So many England fans that will not be inside the stadium, but they will be there.
I'm telling you, you know what I'm saying? So we'll have people who are Ghanaian and are English at the same time. And then we have the Europeans in Belgium, Germany, who are calling every night, every day. Can I get a match ticket? Can you sell us match tickets here and there? So you have all these people coming through. And then you have the Ghanaians who are based in America themselves, coming from from the other states to come and watch. So what a Ghanaian businessman, the question is, how can I take advantage of this gathering? And that's what we are presenting, the business aspect of the World Cup, which is for people who want to who have they're into manufacturing of made in Ghana products, or maybe the people in the pharma industry. Any business that you do, or you want, we are arranging B2B meetings for them. If you tell us the kind of business you are doing, we'll see whether we can get you a manufacturer who is into that, so that we can see whether you can try and import more from the US this time around, instead of, I don't want to mention the other countries. And trust me, this business World Cup thing has really caught on well. We are partnering with AGI, and their members are excited, ecstatic about it. They are registering in their numbers, and the Ghana Chamber of Commerce, they are also encouraging their members to also take advantage of this. We have secured a meeting place. We are doing 2 days in Boston, 2 solid days. From 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. We have expo, people exhibiting their products. We are driving traffic there. We are doing cultural, food, everything that you can think Ghanaian on that day. So that's what we're doing.
Amazing. I love the business aspect of it. Let's go to, obviously you've mentioned all the things that you're providing. Now let's talk about the things that the people coming must provide.
Yes.
So obviously you're providing visa support services.
Yes.
So you're booking interviews for them. You're helping them fill their form.
Absolutely.
Will they be attending interviews?
Yes. So with the US Embassy, you have to attend an interview. And that's what I said, that the dates are available. So come and do yours quickly. I mean, if you come and we fill your form, we help you with booking a date, submitting your application, then we help you assemble your documents.
Yeah.
So what business you do, are you employed or you yourself, you're self-employed? Your business registration document, everything that supports that assertion, you have to come along with them. Then your bank statement. The US Embassy requires 3 months bank statement. If it's Canada, they require 6 months bank statement. And then if you say you're married certificate. So it's individual. It's based on who is coming. We take you through that. We have decks that we have people sitting there helping you go through that, so that you have the right information before you attend the interview.
So from all of this, what it means basically is that the earlier,
the better. Seriously.
Okay, so do it now.
As we speak, we have more than 200 people.
Wow.
Yes, and
and they're only in February.
Yes, you see, that's the whole thing about doing something like this. You need to be. I mean, it's not just us, but the US have come out saying that everyone should try and get things done early. If the flights we have blocked on Delta and United, Delta and Emirates, they have given us the timelines by which we should issue the tickets, else we lose the deposit we've made. Wow. So if I don't start early, January, February, so that by March I know the number of people who have been able to secure their visas, then I can issue their plane tickets, then I can complete the hotel payment and all that. If we wait till March, April and you come, what can we do for you?
And that's what I love about the whole package, the whole thing. Like, you take the stress away from the people.
Yes.
So just pay the money.
All you need is just pay your money and go and dump your information on them.
And that's it. That's
Yes.
it. They will help you fill.
You dump your information on them.
That's it.
Yeah.
So they help you fill the form. They will do every single thing, and it's amazing. So for those that want, Latina says, come to Alisa Hotel. In fact, she says more people are doing walk-in. And they work on Saturdays as well.
We work on Saturdays and Sundays.
And Sundays as well. So just walk to Alisa Hotel. Ask anybody at Alisa Hotel you're looking for the Latina Travel and Tours office. They will direct you there. She's hired extra staff. You mentioned that last week.
Yes.
To help with all the filling of the forms. But if you have further questions and maybe you want to make further enquiries, you can just call the phone number
0244 260-789.
0244-260-789. I didn't even have to look at the paper to say
Yes, so I'll give it out again. 0244-260-789. That's my personal number. If you call me,
oh wow,
I'll pick up. But people are calling at 1 p.m. 1 a.m.
And they should relax more.
Don't do that.
Calm down.
But that's fine.
Yeah, Latina, we appreciate you coming by.
Thank you.
We'll talk again in a few weeks' time.
Okay.
To check in. And for me, I think it's amazing that you've put these packages in place. So anyone that has a dream of going to the World Cup, please go to Alisa Hotel, ask for Latina, or call her. She'll answer all your questions. Latina, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you, Danny Kate. Thank you, Sichu, and Achu earlier as well. This has been another episode of Game Plan. My name is Fentio, Tahir Fentio. The show will be available as a podcast and on the Joy News YouTube page. They will upload the video there. You can catch up on it. We're back again next Friday with another episode. Until then, my name is Fentio, Tahir Fentio. Take care and bye-bye.